meeting between the Dawson County Board of Commissioners and Mayor of the City of Dawsonville and the City Council. Appreciate everyone who's here in attendance and all those who might be watching us online. Let the record show that all of the county commissioners are present for this meeting, and at this time, I'll turn it over to the mayor to conduct his roll call.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. City Attorney Kevin Talent.
Here.
City Manager Jacob Evans.
Here.
City Council Member Mark French.
Here.
City Council Member Sandy Sawyer.
Here.
City Council Member Will Ilg.
Here.
City Council Member Caleb Phillips is not present. City Clerk Beverly Bannister.
Here.
Thank you very much.
Thank you. Next, we'll go to the approval of the agenda. On the commission side, I'll accept a motion to approve the agenda as is.
Make a motion to approve as presented.
The motion from Commissioner Stowers, seconded by Commissioner Turkett. Any discussion on the commission board? All in favor of approval of the agenda, let it be known by saying aye.
Aye.
Let the record show that's a 4-0. Turn it over to you, Mayor, to approve the agenda for the city.
All right, can I get a motion to approve the agenda?
So moved.
Second.
I got a motion by Councilmember French, second by Councilmember Sawyer. Any discussion? All right, please signify by your vote by raising your right hand. All right, 3-0.
All right. So no one signed up for public comment in this particular section, but I will give, if there's anyone here who would like to make a public comment, I will give that opportunity, and each person will have 3 minutes if anyone would request to make a public comment.
I do.
Come on,
Where do you want me?
go up there to the thing, please. Use that mic, please. As I said, you'll have 3 minutes.
Share that mic first. Yes, sir.
Well, the only comment that I'll make as a citizen of Dawson County, I'll just flatly reject this SPLOST as presented. There's nothing but a bunch of pork barrel pit projects on here that I can see. Rebuilding and replacing unmanned fire stations makes no sense to me when we're in need of patrol cars. I've tried to explain to the board, I've tried to talk to the board, and I've tried to give them the factual information needed, but for some reason, they just refuse to listen. So as a citizen, I'm coming out strongly in opposition of this SPLOST until it changes or something has changed. Thank you.
You? Anyone else who would like to make a public comment? Okay, we'll move on to the new business portion. This is a proposed special purpose local option sales tax discussion, and we'll start with A, allocation of tax proceeds. The total is $76,600,000. And after today, hopefully we will have a 88-12%, 88 to the county, 12% to the city, $67,400,000 to the county, $9,200,000 to the city. Mayor, any comments in reference to that?
No, sir.
All right, that's how it will be allocated. Possible projects for inclusion in the referendum. Joey, will you read the county projects, please?
Yes, sir, I will. The general categories and the dollar amounts are included in the IGA, and I will summarize them and certainly go forward on the percentages as well. The county projects, Park and Recreation has a number of items on there, including the East Side Sports Complex, improvements to Rock Creek, which include field improvements and lighting replacements. Veterans Memorial Park also has some field improvements, includes some artificial turf, lighting replacements, and some additional pickleball courts. Stiles Park has proposed for a new pavilion at that new park and expanding the trails, some small expansions to the trails. There's also plans for the Harmony Church community recreation area, That's out near where they're constructing Fire Station 3 currently for a small gym and a small pocket park. And we also have some funds for some parking lot improvements at some of our lake parks. Total for park and recreation is 31.3%. And make sure I got the total here correct. Yes, 31.3% for park and rec. Public safety is the next category. There are projects for replacing and new fire engines and replacing ambulances. Fire station number 5 is also on the list for replacement. Fire station 4 is for land acquisition for a future station, not for an entire station. That is all, there is an existing station 4, but this is for replacement at a different location, and it's just for land acquisition. There's also some funds for fire protection improvements for fire hydrants and water mains, control our ISO rating, and also fire station number 1 and fire station number 7, which are our 2 older stations. Both those stations are 25 years old, and it's time for some rehab work there. For fire and EMS, that totals $11.6 million. Public safety, law enforcement, there's funds for new vehicles and equipment, $5 million. Also, the jail and detention center has $1.73 million for improvements. The sheriff has requested a new firearms range, that's $600,000. Crash safety barriers, that's over at the law enforcement center, that's $400,000. And a speed safety trailer is $70,000. For law enforcement, it totals $7.8 million. Combined for public safety, there are some needs for improvements to the software systems that serve both fire and police and EMS and emergency management. And that's $1.3 million. Total for public safety is 30.7%. And also, Mr. Chairman, if I could back up, I missed an item in between park and recs and public safety. There are also some funds for the health department. As y'all are aware, we're currently remodeling the health department, and we had to do some value engineering on that project. And there is on this list for improvements to the existing drive-through canopy. $200,000 has been allocated on that for public health. I slipped over that when I was reading off. Going forward, public works and transportation with solid waste, needs for equipment replacements for solid waste and transportation, continuation of our county road resurfacing and culvert projects, $5.2 million. Again, all this is listed in the IGA. Transfer station is also in need of some improvements for environmental reasons and safety reasons and expansion, $3.2 million. Our old landfill, the landfill methane extraction system, it has some issues with it. To repair it, at $500,000. Our long-term plan for Greenway and Trail Master Plan improvements, $1.6 million. That would be just to start that project. Again, that is a multi-year, multi-decade project. Mapping, stormwater mapping of our stormwater conveyance system and condition assessment. That's engineering project, $450,000, much needed. Steel Bridge Road, particularly the bridge itself, Steel Bridge, that is failed, not in failed inspection, but we have gotten some bad reports on the condition of that bridge, and it needs some repairs very soon, and that's $1.5 million. And also some improvements to the public works facilities for more storage and more office space, $250,000. Public Works including transportation and solid waste, is 22.7%. Moving along, our elections office, elections and voter registration area, they have needs for improvements to the existing building. Space is an issue, security is an issue. So there are some dollars for an election buildings improvement, $1.2 million, and we also have some funds for a possible, some satellite voting precincts, possibly in Harmony Church area. And that is 1.9% of the total. Information technologies, everything we do involves technology these days, and a continuation of computer upgrades, replacements, phones, cell phones, various things. That's scheduled throughout the 6-year period for $1.5 million for a total of 2% of the projects, all projects. Facilities, they have a need for some additional space, that warehouse space, and office space that would probably be shared with other county departments besides facilities such as IT. That's 2.6%. Fleet, ongoing replacement of vehicles and small equipment for general government. That's scheduled out through the period as well, 3.7%. There is a desire to expand administration space with an annex building, $1.3 million. Also in that category, there is dollars for program management to manage many of these projects that will be constructed over the periods. It's $400,000. Total in that category is 2.5%. And finally, continue to support economic development and the Development Authority with expansions of existing or future business parks, $1.3 million to the Development Authority. And I'll be glad to answer any questions, but that is a summary of the list, sir.
Any questions from the board to the county manager? Reference to the list. Mayor, I'll turn it over to you to talk about your list.
Thank you, sir. I'll turn it over to City Manager Jacob Evans to go over our list.
We have 12% of the estimated SPLOST 8, which is 9.2 million. On this sheet, you will recognize that the total city projects is 9,320,000. That was an error, so it should be 9.2. Just pointing that out. For future projects of SPLOST 8, we have 450,000 allocated for public safety. That is approximately 5% of SPLOST. In addition, for downtown revitalization, we have 5.8 million committed to developing the 17 acres across from City Hall that City Hall recently purchased. That includes preliminary design planning, grants, admin fees. That includes the 17 acres of the roads, utilities, sidewalks, streetlights, getting all the infrastructure down. That also includes a cannery and a regional stormwater pond. And that sets that area for growth and more businesses able to come in, hopefully, which is what we are hoping for. Under the public works side, we have 800,000 set aside for roads, streets, bridges, and sidewalks. Specifically, right now, we have listed paved Birch Crossing 1 and 2. There are many other projects that we have allocated for SPLOST $7 to go towards paving. I do want the citizens to be aware of that. For utilities, capital projects of utilities, we have 500,000 set aside for source water updates, a possible 112 production project that will bring more water to the city, water line upgrades, and then tank painting and maintenance. Altogether, about 10% for capital projects for utilities. Almost at the end, facility and equipment, 500,000. That's for what it says, equipment that might be needed throughout. And lastly, other projects for replacing the roof and guard repair at City Hall. That is 800,000, approximately 9% of the total SPLOST, all equaling 9,200,000.
Thank you very much, Jacob. Any questions from the city council members? I will have none on our side. Thank you, Mr. Chairman.
Thank you, Mayor. Before we move on to consideration of the SPLOST intergovernmental agreement, just for everybody to have some knowledge, on the county side or the board side, we started out with over $100 million in requests. With $67,400,000 with an estimated $76 million, $600,000 total that would come from the revenue from Splosh 8, that list had to be whittled down. I want to thank Joey, the staff, the Board of Commissioners for all their work that they've done to get it down to where it is today. I will say that we had some departments that did not make the list at all. And others got cut from what they originally wanted. Most every department got cut. And no one got everything that they wanted. So we had to pare this thing down to make it meet the dollar amount that we have and over that time frame. And so I want to thank all of our staff, the board for all of their hard work, and our county manager for facilitating most of this for us. So, Mayor, I'll turn it over to you. I don't know if you have any comments before we get to the IGA.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. I want to thank City Manager Jacob Evans. I sat with him some. We went through this budget. We started out real high too. Then we had to cut back like the county did on a lot of things. We was not able to put things that needed on there. It took a lot of time, effort. I appreciate the council with their input and so forth. It was I imagine there was a grinding process, but there's some things that hurt you to want to cut, but you have to some necessary means. And again, this was not everything on our list that we wanted, but it's everything on top. So it's but I'm appreciative with the city way it came together, and also communicate with the county counterparts. I think we had some great productive meetings and so forth. And so it was I can honestly say I'm grateful with the cooperation I had with the county and the meetings that we had and so forth. It was a pleasure working with them, and it's a group effort at the end of the day, and trying to get what's best for our citizens.
Thank you, Mayor. Anyone on the board or that would have any comment, or anyone on the city council that would like to have a comment about the process before we move on to the IGA? All right, so we move on to the consideration of the Splosh Intergovernmental Agreement. The intergovernmental agreement, as all of you are aware, and for the citizens' knowledge, will allow us to have 6 years worth of collections if approved by the citizens. So, and that gets us that total that we've been talking about throughout this meeting. So everybody has that agreement in front of them. So on the board side, I would ask the board for a motion to accept the intergovernmental agreement if they so desire.
Mr. Chairman, could I make?
Yes, sir, go ahead.
One request, and the city manager pointed this out on page 8 of the
Okay.
packet here, at the bottom of the city's list, it says total city projects.
Uh-huh.
That should read 9.2 million.
Okay.
So I would just ask if there's a motion for the approval of the agreement, that it be a motion for the approval with that correction.
With that correction. All right, sir. Okay, with that being said, what is the pleasure of the board? Commissioners.
I make a motion that we approve the intergovernmental agreement for SPLOST 8 with the one change on page 8 to read the total city projects 9.2 million.
Second.
Motion by Commissioner Stowers, seconded by Commissioner Bruce. Discussion. Hearing none, please vote by show of hands. And that is 4-0 for the record. Mayor, I'll turn it over to you.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. Do I get a motion on the city side for the proposed intergovernmental agreement to Splosh?
Yeah, I'll make a motion to approve the Splosh intergovernmental agreement with the change. Same thing on page 8 at the bottom with the 9.2 million for the total city projects.
A second.
I got a motion by Councilmember Ills, second by Councilmember Sawyer. Any discussion? Please signify by your vote by raising your right hand. All right. I got 2 yes and 1 no. Am I correct? All right. So that's 2. I'm sorry.
Do you vote?
No, I don't get to vote.
You don't get to vote.
No, unless it's a tie.
Okay. All right, so 2-1.
Yes, sir. 2-1.
Got that? 2-1 on that approval. All right. That brings us to the end of this joint meeting, and I appreciate everyone coming out and being a part, and for all the process that you took part in. I appreciate that as well. And so on behalf of the Board of Commissioners, unless someone on the board has anything to say, the Board of Commissioners will be adjourned. Mayor?
Same thing with city council. Anybody got anything else you want to say, Sheriff?
I'll make a motion to adjourn.
Second.
I got a motion by Councilmember Ilg, second by Councilmember French to adjourn. Please raise your right hand. All right, 3-0 to adjourn.
Thanks, everyone.
Thank you.